So I've always been a little bit obsessed with lip balm, but recently I started a low dose Accutane treatment and you guys, my lips, they are shredded. I need lip balm every second of every day. And I thought, you know what? When life gives you lemons, make some lemonade, find a silver lining. So I thought, hey, let's do a video all about lip balms. I have here 40 lip balms. 40 of the best-selling lip balms on the market. I'm gonna tell you guys which are hits, which are misses, and which are a bit meh. I've ordered these roughly in terms of price. So we're gonna start with some classics that you can find at the supermarket and the drugstore, work our way to mid-end, and then finish off with some ridiculous, exorbitant, extravagant lip balms. Before we start, I would love to know, go down in the comment section for me and let me know what is your all-time favorite lip balm and why. I can't wait to read all of your comments and maybe add a few to my collection. You can never have too many, but make sure that you stay around till the end to hear my top 5 lip balms. Let's do this. I decided to swatch all of these lip balms. Initially, I thought that it might provide some sort of tactile experience and help you guys kind of imagine what the lip balms are like. Like halfway through, I was like, why am I swatching lip balms? So I'm not sure if that's going to be helpful, but I'm going to put them here anyway. Let's start. Number 1, we're gonna start with Chapstick. This is cheap and cheerful. You can find it at supermarkets, drugstores, pharmacies, wherever. It's also one of the slimmest lip balms in today's lineup, and it is slightly tinted. If you're concerned about lip balm feeling sticky, this one is not sticky at all. 2 notes, I don't think that the relief is as long lasting as some of the other stickier alternatives in this list. And also that menthol strawberry taste is quite prominent. I actually quite like it, but it doesn't mix well with meal times or food or any of that. Lucas Paw Paw Ointment. So when I was a teenager and I used to collect all of the Glossy magazines, on every page there'd be a model or a beauty editor or a makeup artist raving about Lucas Paw Paw Ointment. It's like an Australian classic. So it has some fermented papaya in a petroleum jelly base, and the papaya extract is meant to provide some antibacterial benefits. I use this in much the way that I would use Vaseline, right? It's great for like cuts or dry skin or cuticles or dry lips. I'm just not sure that it's the cure-all that it was touted to be, and I feel very un-Australian saying that, but it is, for $4 or $6, it's a great unscented option. Next we have Carmex Moisturising Lip Balm, and this is in the Jasmine green tea flavor. So this has a base of petrolatum and lanolin. It also has an SPF of 15, and it has some camphor in there as well. Camphor is used to relieve skin irritation. So it's actually a really well-rounded formula. But the Jasmine green tea was so overpowering that sometimes it made me feel a bit nauseated. I would definitely repurchase this formula, just maybe in a more neutral smell. Next, we've got the Burts Bees Moisturising Lip Balm. This is in I was gonna say the shade. This is in the Smell Vanilla. And I actually prefer this to the Chapstick, if only because the smells are they're not quite as sickly sweet. Like the vanilla one, oh, it smells like cake. So this is marketed as more of a natural product. I do find that this one slips off the lips quite readily. So I do have to reapply quite frequently. It doesn't have the best longevity, but I think it would be my favorite amongst the more affordable lip balms. It's like a nice mix of really hydrating, but also just a real pleasure to use. It smells like cake. Next we have the Nivea Crayon Lipstick Balm in a Rosy Nude, I believe the shade is, yes. So oftentimes with tinted lip balms, they're tinted in like a deep berry or a deep pink. And I actually have naturally quite pink lips, so I was maybe playing with the idea of a lip balm that would help to pale my lips down a little bit, sort of in the way that a nude lipstick would. And so I decided to give this one a go. It's not my fave. It has like a mildly moisturizing formula. The formula is not so much the problem. For me, it was the color. It made my lips look really ashy, and also the color collected in areas where I was a bit dry and flaky. Let's talk about Lanolips. This is another homegrown Australian brand, and the primary ingredient is lanolin. So quick recap on lanolin. It's a lipid that's found in sheep's wool. Lanolin in lip balms helps to waterproof the skin, so really protect the skin from the elements or from, you know, losing moisture to the air, much in the way that actually petroleum jelly does. But lanolin has additional benefits because it's an emollient ingredient. It also helps to like soothe and hydrate and soften. So the Lanolips line is actually pretty big. We have the Lanolips 101 ointment. The only ingredients in this are lanolin and lanolin oil. It's completely scent free, so it's good if you're sensitive to scents. It's a medium weight, non-sticky lip balm. I totally understand why this has been like going off and why everyone loves it. It makes for a beautiful lip balm. The Lanolips Rose Gold 101 ointment. So this is a very similar formula to the original, but this one is tinted. It's got this shimmery rosy tint, and it's actually quite pigmented. You definitely get quite a little bit of oomph, and this is also beautiful on the cheeks. For those of you out there who love a little bit of a dewy blush look, this is gorgeous. I was a little bit concerned that the shimmer would be a bit chunky or OTT, but actually it's really refined and elegant, and even after the product wears away, it doesn't, like, the shimmer doesn't collect on the lips. More Lanolips, their line is huge. This is the tinted lip balm SPF 30. This is apparently their best-selling shade as well. It's called Perfect Nude, which is a little bit of a deeper mauvey nude, but it's so sheer. I think that this would suit just about anyone. This to me is the perfect alternative to like a nude lipstick or a nude gloss. Gives you a little bit of color, but also all of those like soothing, hydrating properties. I also love that this has an SPF 30 because it occurred to me, if your lips are like peeling and compromised, then they're probably more sensitive to the sun. I think it's really important. This one is fun. It's the Lanolips Lip Water in Watermelon. So this has like a very like thin, glossy, almost serum-y kind of texture, and it smells like watermelon lollies. It's one of my favorite smells. And it still has all those like skin loving ingredients. It has hyaluronic acid, your lanolin, your vitamin E. The color is very sheer, but it gives a beautiful shiny effect to the lips. And I think this is that perfect skincare meets makeup sort of vibe. A big thank you to today's sponsor, Skillshare. If you're not familiar, Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands of classes from cool creatives who are generous enough to share their craft with us. So whether you want to write a screenplay or design stationery or learn hashtag strategies for your Instagram side hustle, Skillshare has a class about it. Fun fact, before creating these very YouTube videos, I often do research on Skillshare to try widen my horizons or get inspired or hone a new skill. I discovered Pez's classes on stop motion. You guys know I love a little bit of stop motion. I've been creating makeup stop motion for like a decade. But Pez's classes really refresh my knowledge and encourage me to dig a little bit deeper. So focus more on the storytelling, focus more on humor, and it just makes me really excited to level up my content. I'm also really enjoying Going Viral by Matt Belisai. He discusses what makes viral content and why do people even share content and what does hashtag relatable even mean. There's lots of practical advice to improve your voice online, and I'd recommend this to anyone who has ideas. It's just a seriously awesome class. I was also bowled over by this class, Revolutionary Self-Care by the brilliant activist Chidera. So I watched her classes multiple times, and each time I reflected a little bit deeper. So lots of big ideas here, including authentic voice. Listening to her almost felt like meditation to me. It really helped me to quieten some intrusive thoughts and even connect better with myself. And the most important relationship in your life is the one that you have with yourself, right? So if you're also looking to flex your creative muscles, go down and click the first link in my description box. The first 1,000 people to use that link will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership so that you can try before you buy. Thank you so much, Skillshare. Now back to lip balm. The First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Lip Therapy. So firstly, I want to say that I'm a massive First Aid Beauty fan. The Ultra Repair Cream, holy grail, love it for my dermatitis. The facial radiance pads, amazing. Recommend them to everyone I meet. Apparently this is a bestseller too, the Ultra Repair Lip Therapy. I don't love it. It's petroleum free, but it has a little bit of an almost silicone-y texture. And also it says fragrance free, but I definitely catch some mintiness here. And actually through this lip balm encyclopedia, I've realized I don't like minty lip products. It's just, I don't even really like minty toothpaste, to be honest. I don't think mint is my fave, unless it's chocolate and mint, which objectively is a yes. The Kopari Lip Glossy. So I featured this in a yearly favorites, and it's still one of my go-tos. Imagine, close your eyes with me, and imagine a really glossy, high shine, glassy lip that also moisturizes the hell out of your lips. That is exactly Kopari Lip Glossy. One of my favorite ways to wear this is to line the mouth with a nude lip liner and then feather inwards, and then top with this, almost like a clear gloss, for just a really pretty everyday nude. It's formulated with coconut oil and squalene, and it smells coconutty but nothing overpowering. Oh, and I should say that I have the clear version, but there are some tinted versions. Very intrigued. The Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I have this in every flavor, in every color. I actually first purchased this in Korea a number of years ago. Just purchased it on a whim, and I didn't know that it had this like cult best-selling following. And the minute I tried it, I was like, dude, what is this lip balm? Because it was really cold in Korea when I went, and this just provides instant relief. So my favorite way to use this is before bed, take a big glob, be generous, and smooth it all over the mouth and even a little bit outside of the mouth. And in the morning, your lips will feel plump and smooth and hydrated, and there'll still be lip balm on your lips in the morning. It is phenomenal. The texture is like a dense plush gel. I do think that some people might describe it as a little bit heavy or a little bit sticky, but for an overnight lip mask, I think that's really what you want. When I asked you guys on Instagram story, like, hey, tell me some of your favorite lip balms so that I can feature them in this upcoming video, the most common response on that story was the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. So clearly you guys are on board too. Many of you guys, knowing that I love the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, asked me to review the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. So this one actually comes in a tube. So imagine if the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask had a baby sister. That would be the Lip Glowy Balm. The consistency, the texture is all quite similar. The flavors are quite similar. I would say that the Lip Glowy Balm just has a little bit more of a thinner consistency. Just a touch, I think, which makes it more daytime appropriate. If I had to pick, I would say that I prefer the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask over the tube version, just because my lips need all the help that they can get. Give me all of the thick plush gel that you can over here. But I will say that I really like the tube for reapplication throughout the day. It's far more hygienic. Next we have the Tarte Jelly Glaze Anytime Lip Mask. These are tinted lip balms, and I was chatting to the lady at Sephora, and she told me that as of late, these have been selling like crazy. It's one of their best sellers. So we've got here Toasted Coconut, which is a sheer nude color with an amazing coconutty gourmand. It smells like summer to me. You gotta love coconut for that. And then we've also got Grapefruit, which is a coral. This one's actually a little bit more pigmented than the coconut. And it also smells like grapefruit, which is, you know, tart and citrusy and fresh. Much about this formula does remind me of the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. You obviously don't need them all unless you want to, in which case, why not? But certainly another one that I love on top of a lip liner, sort of in place of a gloss. The Ciate Nourishing Lip Oil in Mango and Lime Burst. So this is another great alternative to lip gloss. It has all of the things that we love about lip gloss. It's super shiny, and it makes the lips look really big and juicy, but it's also legitimately hydrating. The smell of this one is also really pleasant and bright and fruity and quite strong. There are some unscented options in this list as well. Beauty Chef Flora Fix Balm. So this is actually quite a large glass jar here. If you identify as a little bit of a hippie, you like your chickpea flour and your spirulina extract, I think you will enjoy this product. I think that this is best suited to like cuticles or elbows or the back of my, oh my gosh, I put this on the back of my hands before I go to sleep and I wake up with like, my hands are like silk. It does such a number on the back of my hands. I love it for that purpose, not so much for lips. So I would prefer this more for body. The Ciate Disco Nap Lip Mask. I love that. Disco Nap. That's my kind of disco. I really enjoy this one for makeup application purposes. So I keep this next to my makeup vanity and I use it to prep my lips before makeup because it has a very soft, refined luminosity throughout. There are these multicolored glimmers that makes the lips look extra juicy. The Kosas Lip Fuel Hyaluronic Lip Balm. So I actually featured these in my Kosas brand overview, which I'll link somewhere on the screen. There are multiple shades actually. There's Clear, which is baseline, and then I also have here Pulse, which is not my favorite color on my complexion, but it is one of those universal warm rosy shades, which is actually moderately pigmented and definitely could be used in place of a lipstick. It keeps my lips comfortable. I kept the tube in the car for a number of months. It was my car lip balm for a while. It didn't melt, which is a great sign. It's just not a very memorable formula to me, although I will say I'm trying to be measured and balanced here. If you're someone who doesn't like a thick or sticky lip balm, this one doesn't do any clagging, it doesn't get stringy between the lips, it's very lightweight. The Fenty Pro Kisser Luscious Lip Balms. So I have the tinted versions. It also does come in a clear. My favorite of the shades is Latte Lips. It is such a beautiful nude color. I think they really nailed it. It's like a desaturated nude that just softly pales down the lips. The smell is like vanilla-y, very pleasant, and I really like the doe foot applicator. I think that these would be suited to someone who has like mildly dry lips. Like, oh, my lips feel a little bit dry. For me, it just wasn't sufficient. I feel like it didn't kind of soften the dry skin on my lips, and it didn't give me the oomph that I needed, but certainly this is something that I would come back to when my lips have returned to some normality. Let us talk about Bite Beauty. Bite Beauty is known for their lip balms, right? It's like their hero products. And I have spoken about them countless times over the years. Let's start first with the Agave Intensive Lip Mask. So this was probably their best known lip balm. It had a cult following for years and years, and then they reformulated it recently to remove lanolin, and that will make it a vegan formula. I was so concerned about this, you guys. I need this lip balm, and I was concerned that they were going to go and ruin it with the new formula, but I'm happy to report that the new formula is almost identical to the old one to me. The only difference that I notice is perhaps that the taste is a little bit more neutral, but it still performs just as well as the old one. The Bite Beauty, I think, creates some of the thickest lip balms, so this one is really, I'm gonna say some people are gonna call it heavy and sticky. Once you put it on, it's very difficult to almost like wipe it off, and it really creates a cocoon around the lips that protects against the elements, or when you're eating or drinking or sleeping, it stays on. But not ideal if you like a lightweight lip balm. That's not what this is about. Next we have the Bite Beauty Agave Nighttime Lip Therapy. So this is also a vegan formula. It's formulated with oils and squalene. I never thought that I would say this, but I actually think that I prefer this to the Agave lip mask. This is even thicker, even more emollient, even more difficult to wipe off. When nothing else works, that's when I turn to my nighttime lip therapy. It is bomb. I feel like I'm gonna mispronounce this. BB? This is the BB Babe Balm, 100% natural certified, vegan and cruelty free. So it comes out as like a balm consistency, but the minute it makes contact with the skin, it becomes really liquid and soft and wet. It's a very unusual kind of experience, and when you've tried it, you can let me know what you think. It's like, it almost becomes like a serum on your lips. So this ingredient list is packed with all sorts of nourishing, natural nourishing ingredients like shea butter, squalene. There's a myriad of nourishing oils here, camellia, coconut. Like a lot of these sort of oil-based balms, I find that it doesn't have the best staying power on the lips. Once I've eaten or drank, it's kind of dissipated a little bit, but I do really love this for, again, the back of the hands, the cuticles. And if you really don't like a sticky lip balm, like that is a deal breaker for you, then I think some of these more solid oil balms might be more your thing. The Glow Recipe Watermelon Lip Pop. When I showed this on Instagram stories, you guys were so keen, and with good reason. This is an amazing lip balm. First of all, the smell. Watermelon lollies, back at it again. I freaking love watermelon lollies. And do you remember, like in the early noughties, where there were all these lip balms on the market that would change according to like the pH of your skin, and they always stained your lips like a really cheap pink. It was always like a cheap fuchsia pink. This is sort of like the new and improved version of those lip balms. It gives the lips a slight rosy hint, but it stains very evenly and it wears away evenly, not a cheap stain at all. And then the rosy flush is subtle, but the more you reapply the lip balm, the rosier the lips get. The Milk Makeup Melatonin Overnight Lip Mask. Great news, Australians. By the way, Milk Makeup is coming to Australia as we speak. It will be available at Sephora Australia. Let me know in the comment section what are your favorite Milk makeup products so that I can add it to my wish list. So this reminds me a lot of the Bite Beauty offering in that it's a very thick, very moisturizing, emollient, comforting lip mask to be used at night. This one to me smells quite strongly of lavender. It's got some lavender oil in it, and I get it, you know, spa, relaxation, lavender, nighttime, all these concepts are congruent with one another, but I want to attend a spa, not eat it. The Mecca Cosmetica Original Lip Delicious SPF 25 Lip Protectant. This has been a cult classic for years. It's one of their best sellers. I have a theory that Mecca Cosmetica uses all of the insights that they have through all their amazing brands that they carry, and they take those insights and apply them to their own Mecca Cosmetica brand, because every product they produce is a winner. Like the sunscreen, for example, the Mecca Cosmetica sunscreen is cold. It's one of the best formulas ever. Anyway, back to the lip balm. This I would say is a medium weight lip balm. So it's not as thick as something like the Bite Beauty, but it's not as thin as, say, the Kosas. I have recommended this to many people over the years and everyone has loved it. It's just a solid formula. The Alpha H Absolute Lip Perfector. So I will confess, I purchased this lip balm because of the color. The color of the tube. I was in Sephora looking at the skincare aisle and this guy just popped out at me, and it was the bloody millennial pink. They get me every time. This texture is a little bit more of a cream, and it reminds me a lot of the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Lip Therapy, but they're both sort of a little bit silicone-y to the touch, not at all glossy in finish. So a really beautiful option if you're using it underneath a matte lipstick, or perhaps you just don't love a glossy lip look. They're both a little bit minty, which we've established is not my fave. The Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip in the shade Grapefruit. This is one of my favorite tinted lip options, I think, that I found. It envelops the lip in this sheer kind of peachy jelly. I feel like it makes my vertical lip lines like look smoother. It makes my lips look like really juicy and plump and smooth. Like, this is genuinely a lip product that I would select to finish a makeup look. It's definitely got that cosmetic value as well. It actually got some pretty crappy reviews on Sephora. One person said that you have to click incessantly to get the product out, and yeah, you do. You have to click a few times. It doesn't bother me too much. Also, others said that it was a bit tacky and sticky. A little bit of stickiness and tackiness does help with longevity though. The Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. So I am a massive fan of the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. I think it is just one of the most hydrating products on the market. So I was super stoked to try the Lip Butter Balm. It has one of these, let me tell you, you know exactly what I mean. The packaging that when it's in your handbag and it gets a bit squashed, and then the next time you go to open the lip balm, it just spouts lip balm everywhere. And then I'm just like trying to palm off lip balm to my friends, like, please take this lip balm from my greasy fingers. If you found the Bite Beauty Agave lip mask to be too thick, I think you'll like this one. It's a little bit more thinner, a little bit more lightweight. The Kosas Wet Lip Oil, another one that I reviewed in my Kosas brand review, and I have two shades. I've got Jellyfish, which is pretty much clear, and then also Dip, which is sort of like a terracotta rose. It's a warm rosy color that they tout as, you know, like a very universal shade, and I agree. These descriptors, you know, like wet, lip, oil, jelly, I was conjuring some, you know, interesting novel consistency that I had never tried before, but I would actually describe this formula as sort of like a lightweight gel gloss. It's brilliant for just like tossing in your bag and using instead of a gloss to get those hydrating benefits. Personally, I find myself reaching for things that just are a little bit more hydrating and a little bit more nourishing. The NARS Afterglow Lip Balm. So this comes in NARS's iconic shades. I've got here Orgasm, which is sort of like a warm pink with a little bit of reflect running throughout, but there's also like Laguna, Dolce Vita, Deep Throat, all of their classic shades. And fun fact, this is actually a beauty editor and beauty guru favorite. Let me explain. When I go to beauty events, one of my favorite things to do, I'm so nosy, one of my favorite things to do is like observe after dinner what people are taking out of their purse to reapply. And this one constantly reappears. It's very thin. It gives the lips a hint of a rosy flush, but it's very subtle. Nothing overpowering. I love the reflex. It's actually quite similar to, say, something like the watermelon lip pop from Glow Recipe, except this one is unscented, which I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. The Marc Jacobs Hydrating Coconut Lip Oil. When I first received this, I assumed it was a lip gloss and I didn't have high hopes, but this ended up being one of my absolute favorites. It reminds me a lot of the Kopari Lip Glossy. So this has a dense gel kind of consistency that is just immediately upon impact, it is so soothing and hydrating. It also has a real high shine finish, like a gloss. Although I love the doe foot and this clear packaging, it's very aesthetic and nice to look at. It's best used on bare lips, because if you're applying this over a lip liner or, you know, over other lipsticks, the tube gets real yucky looking real fast. That is my only critique. The Dior Addict Lip Glow Balms. So I read about these in magazines for years and years, and then finally saved up and got one, and I was kind of underwhelmed. Like, it's a really nice lip balm. It's thin and moisturizing, and it also does that interesting pH thing where it imparts the lips with a rosy glow, but I don't like the color, and perhaps that was my mistake. I've got the shade Lilac. Maybe I need to go back and get like a coral or a peach, because I feel like this just makes my lips look like a cheap pink. It's just not my favorite color at all. Another one from Dior, this is the Lip Glow Oil, Coral this time. Another Dior product that kind of left me a little bit underwhelmed. But let me tell you first what I like about it. This is another dense, plush gel formula that really cocoons the lips, and it hangs around even after, you know, eating and drinking. The things I don't love about this product is the minty smell. Again, it's really obtrusive to me and it turns me off my food. I have a very delicate appetite. Like, even the smallest things will kind of kill my appetite, and minty lip products are at the top of that list. Also, and this is going to sound like a nitpicky thing, but that's what this video is about, all right? The doe foot applicator is so large that I always find myself sort of over applying gloss, and then I kind of get it outside my lips and it looks really messy. The Lilah B Tinted Lip Balm in B Demure. When I first received this, you guys, I was mesmerized. It feels weighty, like a pebble, like the most beautiful pebble you have ever seen. And then it's got this beautiful slide. You slide it open and it presents the product inside. The packaging is A+++. The product inside, I don't like. I don't know if this is an issue with the color. B Demure has that sort of white base, and it made my lips look chalky, and all the white pigment collected in the areas where my lips were peeling, and then I had a white sort of sediment that collected in the inner rim of my mouth. Like, it was a textural mess. The Rodin Oleoluso Lip Balm. This is a 10 out of 10 user experience. I love using this lip balm, which meant that my lips looked great when I was using it because I was reapplying a trillion times a day. This acrylic packaging is so chic with that pink balm in the center. If I was designing a lip balm, it would look something like this. This is another solid oil type of product, so it's not formulated with petroleum jelly. It's quite a hard, solid oil, and it's got some waxes in there. And it smells kind of natural and faintly waxy. Another one that's good for those of you who cannot tolerate a sticky lip balm. It is not sticky at all because it's just those oils and those waxes. I don't find that it hangs around on the lips as long as some of the thicker petroleum jelly lip balms. I would 100% repurchase this one. It's been a joy to use. All right, you guys, now we are entering seriously bougie territory. The Tom Ford Universal Lip Balm Lumiere. Look at this bullet. Everywhere where I took out this lip balm to reapply, men and women alike would stop me and say, "Ooh, what is that?" It also has that pH adjusting situation, but this time stains the lips a little bit more of a peachy, corally color, which is much more my vibe than a pinky stain. It's thin but still supremely moisturizing, and it costs way too much money. But I'm almost nearing towards the end now, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe one night I'm just gonna be at home and I'm just gonna black out, and maybe I'm gonna repurchase it online. I don't know. The Hourglass number 28 lip oil. So I think of all the components, this one is probably the most novel, and it's a real experience. There is a 28 karat gold plated tip on this, and it has this cold metal refreshing touch on the lips. There's a transparent version, which is the one that I have here, but they also have like a myriad of other different tinted versions which look absolutely divine. And the ingredient list honestly is like longer than some of the contracts that I've signed in the past. There's like 10 different plant oils, a ton of botanicals, there's like orange peel oil, lavender, rosemary leaf. It smells like a spa I'd like to attend, but not necessarily kind of the smell that I would like around my mouth. But that's really my only critique. The product itself is such a dense, shiny, glossy, luxurious, cushiony kind of gel. I would love to receive this as a gift. If someone gave this to me as a gift, I would be thrilled. So I would be keeping this in mind. If you need to buy a gift for that beauty enthusiast friend, the By Terry Balm de Rose. This is an iconic cult best-selling lip balm. You guys, this retails for 91 Australian dollars. I want to say I love By Terry, and there is so much to love about this lip balm. First of all, the packaging, photos don't do it justice. When you feel it in person, it's like, damn, that is weighty and that is luxe. I get it. And the formula itself is on the thicker side, suitable for those of us who have really chronically dry lips. The smell is just too overpowering for me. It smells like if someone gave me a bouquet of roses and instead of going to sniff them, I just ate one. If you absolutely adore roses, you might very well enjoy it. For me, it's just a little bit overpowering. I'd like to take it down by 50%. It's been very difficult for me to narrow this down to 5. But if you twist my arm, here are my top 5 lip balms that I've discovered from our lip balm encyclopedia. The first has got to be the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, my original favorite and still one of my holy grail items. I love this jelly consistency, and if I were repurchasing it, I would buy the grapefruit flavor. I think it's the best. Also, the Bite Beauty Nighttime Lip Therapy, when nothing else will heal my poor raw lips. This is the big guns. This is the big guns. Obviously the Kopari lip glossy, just a beautiful glossy everyday option. My favorite tinted option is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip in the grapefruit. Love that jelly consistency. And then my 5th one, the bloody Tom Ford, man. What am I gonna do when you run out? And that, my friends, concludes my thesis on lip balm. There were a few more actually that I wanted to mention in this video, like Aquaphor. A lot of Americans talk about Aquaphor, not widely available in Australia. I think it's a petroleum jelly based lip balm. I hear it's great. As I was approaching 40 lip balms, I had to have a chat with myself. I was like, Karima, can we justify buying more lip balms? No, we can't. You know, we had a little bit of a chat about it and now we're fine. Come say hello to me on Instagram at Karima McKimmie if you'd like to see more of my face. Also, if you want to hear more about my all-time favorite skincare, the skincare that I've repurchased year after year after year, you can click that video right here. I hope you guys are having the best day, whatever it is you're up to, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.